What up, Schmoedown rockers? And Dungeon Genesses and the like, and all you other dicky doos. Rockin' Movies with Tyler. I'm Tyler. Also call me Dungeon Master Tyler if you're in the dungeon place or even around the Schmoedown. That'd be great. But regardless, quite a week. In fact, since there's now all of a sudden deciding to do the actual pay-per-views on Mondays, since I know usually upload on Mondays, I'm going to wind up just talking about the pay-per-view and just say fuck it. Just get it out of the way. So it's less likely just to keep from having to deal with the spoilers and make it, I guess, easier on the bins. Not the bins. The bins. Bin! That bin and the other bin. Goddard and Bateman. Their little thing they got. The bin show at this point, let's be honest. Which is fine. I have fun with it. I don't keep up with it in the way I used to, but I try to keep up with it regardless. Say hi in the chat. Sometimes. Depending on how invested I am watching. But anyways. Regardless of that, the matches. The throwdown from which was basically going to determine the Schmoedown Battlefield #1 contendership matches, which were apparently digital. Snyder versus Ellison. Snyder, without Roxy, too. The fact that he went as far as he did. And then, of course, Snyder just kind of just gives... It was... Yeah, I think he's just given up as far as his singles career is concerned at this point. And it's just not been a good year to be Jeff Snyder. One of these days he'll get beat back up there and he'll actually pull off getting a singles belt. Hell, I wonder if he even gave up on even trying to go to even be in a tournament and go into it. Which sucks. And I think Roxy's situation of being on set didn't help either. Apparently it's for the same movie, him and Andrew Guy. Funny how that is. It's going to be fun for a lot of people to see whatever that is. Or at least their parts. But anyways. And of course, just Ellison had it. And then JT Collins surprisingly not pulling his weight on that one. But it did determine that Collins would now wind up in the tournament this season. Hopefully he shook off the rust against JTE. The fact that he was at least able to not get TKO'd was nice, I guess. But it did make JT's win against him more of a fluke than what everyone's saying about Collins at this point, probably. But, well, given what happened to Battlefield, but more on that eventually. Apparently, we also had a #1 contendership for teams, lightning time of Final Exam, and I feel really bad for Final Exam at this point. Just oh so close, yet they still can't get it done. And it sucks, man. And it sucks even more because I don't think they're going to, he put them all thinking they would pull it, and now there's no chance of them being in it because they gave midterms the slot. And it's not looking good for Swag now because I think he would have... I'm hoping that since that they might have tried to put Final Exam in, and maybe they might have had a shot. More of a shot again. Who knows? But, yeah. And I feel bad for him for Yama because he's been losing his loss against Ethan already prior to this in teams. Teams match already and the IG tournament hasn't helped either. But I mean, Cobra unfortunately has his loss against Moose Haas, which apparently that gets made up for eventually. And so did Oyama make up for it in his end on the tournament. He finally was able to win his match against Slick Nick Harley. I don't think a whole lot of people weren't expecting him to not play good. And right now, Chrissy V's kind of just become the low-budget Roxy at this point, and especially between look and attitude at this point. And if she ever were to bother to play, that's kind of what she is. Let's be honest. Maybe could be more to her if, she won, but, it's whatever. I'm sure she's probably lovely in person, and I'll know that when I see her. But anyways, which the former FCL champ that decided to, because of him being drafted to the Stars, and luckily for him, he still has the team's tournament because that team he formed with Bancroft is happening. Though I'm surprised that Snyder didn't feel the need, that or he's decided to say fuck digital, just in the same way that Andrew Guy is. Also, the championship match, I never thought that before the match even started. Well, I was more so thinking of rooting for Kalinowski anyway, but because at least he beat Mara, and then will avenge, and he was willing to avenge Smets. That's all he had to say, That's all he needed to do. And he did that, and I'm like, God damn it, I really want you to beat Sounders' ass. Shouldn't retain that belt. So that eventually when the dungeon comes in, specifically Parker is going to come for it. And then when he beats him, I'm hoping he'll be able to also beat Chandru. Just as well. I'm sure it's a Russ thing, and he's clearly not used to, and all the matches he's played to win that belt have been digital, so it's been more the fast money style round than the buzzer round style of the speed round. And so it goes to show because he just buzzed in, and didn't have the answer. And he basically screwed himself in that round. And he knew that he would play well enough in his round, in the final round, to being able to get out of a TKO. I wasn't not expecting that, but yeah, he didn't even have to go to his 5. It's like, yeah, sure, he didn't have to go to his 5, but it's not his fault that he didn't get to go to his 5. It's more your fault. You weren't able to, you choked in the 4th round. Quit being a little bitch. And he didn't get TKO'd or knocked out. He's done the knocking out, Smets. I've fucking told you this before. You put respect on my boy's name. All you gotta do, and you win my heart, essentially, in terms of Schmoedown. And that's what you did. I'm still a little mad about you with the Mara thing. Hell, I'm even more bad because that's the last match we got out of Mara. And maybe she can still pull off live, but maybe she needs to dust off the cobwebs herself as well. There were a lot of things that were hoping to happen, and that was, eventually IG for, I think he's slowly working his way in, but the way IG's going, I don't know if even Merle's going to want to touch it anymore. I'll just leave it tomorrow. Who knows? But he knows enough to where he could pass for maybe being a decent player. I don't know. But he's done already enough in singles as like the OG at this point, because he's the only 5-time champion right now in singles, and I don't think anybody else is going to be beating that. Hell, but the only thing is, Ethan, I think, got lucky in the sense that he was able to pull it off. What he needed to keep Dan from retaining this time around, and which sucks. I was hoping he'd retain, but I hate that it makes us look bad in the dungeon, and I don't think that's in that way. And he already beaten himself up. I've seen it in the way he has been sometimes. He's overly competitive, and he gets in his own head about things sometimes. And it's just he could do what he can do, I do think PJ is, and I think the decision to do that is also kind of, it makes it like, no, I'm more interested in seeing these players end results sometimes for me, I want to see it. I want to just but regardless, I kind of was expecting Chance to win more so or less. I would have been pleasantly surprised if GT did. Once again, he gets to a number 1 contendership style of a match, and he just couldn't pull it, He's yet to get he's gone to a championship, but never got in it, never won it. The same has been said, but they both were able to pull it off in teams and go for a long haul, because teams didn't turn out as well as it probably should have, honestly, with the teams that were being set up. Sadly, which sucks to see that happen, But I feel bad for the Exchange in that regard. And right now, it's starting to, I think, they're in second place. I don't even know if we're even in third at this point. I'd be happy if we were that at this point. I just don't want dead last like we did last season. And I think hopefully the tournaments go over well if Ben and Dan do their part. Hell, if even Del Rio does this part. Hell, if Parker does his part. Hell, if Ben and Dan together as Danger Zone do their part. Like they did earlier in that tournament. Depending on who they're going to have to face. God, I'm worried. If not, then it's just going to be it's just going to feel like 2020 all over again for me. And I don't want that. I really don't. I want to see the dungeon at least in the spectacular in some capacity. Please. We needed the start that we did, and we needed to maintain as much as we could, and we barely even did that. At this point. Now I'm just hoping, fingers crossed he beats Ethan, damn it. I don't know when we're going to get see where the IG tournament's going to go from now, or if we're going to start in the Star Wars, or what's going to happen, or if we're just going to go on through with the singles right now, because so far IG's whatever. But whatever. We're going to call I'm going to just call this episode 2 tournaments, 2 number one contenderships, and a title match. It just seems like it'll be the only thing that'll fit on there, because I'm not going to be able to fit all 6 of those things in a 100-character thing title. Woof. But anyways, I've enjoyed these matches. I'm looking forward to the upcoming match that I'm going to be watching soon once I'm done with this, and the reviews I'm going to be doing. But yeah, overall, I pretty much enjoyed this. I've enjoyed these matches. These are getting interesting. I think I can't wait for that New York Live event for the round 2 match. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment below, let me know. As always, guys, keep it random, keep it real, keep it rocking. This is Rocking Movies with Tyler. I've been Tyler. If you smell at the movie Trivia Schmoedown, Schmoedown rocks. Sky Entertainment and so on and so forth is cooking. Which also the dungeon page. Also, if you like this video, rock that like button with thrust if you must. Also, link in the description to following my page. Like, follow there. Also, the dungeon page, home of the former and only 5-time movie Trivia Schmoedown champion of the world, Danger Stanborough. The dungeon faction. Now, can you dig that, suckers? Because, yeah, I dig it. Also, hit that subscribe button, by the way. In case I forgot to say that. 3 albums I'm going to be talking about, by the way. Also, check those out if you haven't. That'll be uploading sometime after this, probably. Yeah. Take care, y'all.